Today I am really excited to talk to you about the brand new update that Princess just released to their Princess Cruises app. We're also going to talk about a lot of the activities that you can do when you're on a Princess cruise, and truly these trickle down to a lot of other cruise lines as well. And finally, airlines are raising their checked baggage fees, so I want to make you aware of that, and we can talk together about some things that we can do to help alleviate some of those charges in our life. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Saturday. It is February 24th of 2024. So let's start at the top talking about the increase in checked baggage fees. So very recently, Alaska Airlines, JetBlue, American Airlines, I think it was just earlier this week, the end of last week, they raised the price for their checked baggage fees. And so let's go over a couple of things that I hope will help you out. First of all, United is the latest airline to follow suit and raise their checked baggage fees. And it's really interesting to me how some of the airlines are doing it now. So when American made the change, both of them, when they used to have it, it used to be like $30 a bag is my understanding. And then with the new price increases, you are going to be able to pay $40 if you check your bag at the airport. If you check your first bag and you pay online before you get to the airport, it's going to be $35. And then the second bag, you're going to have to pay $50 at the airport to check that bag, or $45 if you're doing it in advance before you come to the airport. So if you don't have the app for the airlines that you are flying on, I highly suggest that you download that app, and that is the simplest place and the easiest way to add any checked bags that you're going to have and prepay for that before you get to the airport. By the way, I should have mentioned right off, today, February 24th, is the day that those changes go into effect with United Airlines. Now, American Airlines, they have it so that if you're going on, and I should say these are for domestic flights. For domestic flights on American Airlines, it is $35 if you pay for your checked bag before you get to the airport, and $40 at the airport. And then with the second checked bag, it's $40 if you do it before you get to the airport, and $45 there at the if you do it once you arrive at the airport. So here are some things that I would say just kind of think about when you are deciding how much you fly, how much you're going to pay for your bags. So first of all, I know that here we have people that have the luxury of being able to go get on a cruise ship from where they live, and I don't know that you all know how blessed you are to have that in your life, but we have that clear to people that fly often for work, to visit family, and as well as to go on a cruise or see the world. So we've got everything in between here, so I would really appreciate it if all of you will just add in the comments any tips or tricks, anything that you have got that will help all of us as we try to navigate this together. All right, so as I have mentioned here before, Gordon and I usually, and it's because the hub, we fly out of Salt Lake City, that's where the hub is for Delta, and it goes so many places. And truly, they are usually the least expensive airline to get where we are wanting to go with the best connections. And so with that, we have a couple of different Delta credit cards. We have the Platinum and the Reserve card. And with that, we get the perks of checked luggage, not having to pay for it. So when you are going to fly, look and see which airline is going to work best for you overall. And then you might want to look at getting their credit card, because a lot of them come with the perk of not having to pay for a checked bag. Alrighty, so, and that makes a huge difference. If you have flown recently, you're probably like I am. I am really surprised, honestly surprised, at how large the suitcases are that are being carried onto the airplane that people are calling carry-ons. They are things that we would have never called a carry-on not too long ago. And so people are doing everything they can to skirt having to pay those baggage fees. And so make sure, I would suggest though, that when you go, make sure that your luggage actually is a carry-on size. I really don't know how particular they are about what they let on the flight anymore about that. Lately I have noticed that they are particular that you get your personal item and your checked bag. I've seen people that will have like a couple of like a purse, crossbody, and then another tote bag, and then their carry-on piece of luggage. And I have seen them ask them to please, combine things so that they only have two bags. So I have noticed that going on, but let me know what all of you are seeing, and truly look and see if you can get a credit card, something like that. The other thing that I would suggest is when you're looking at tickets, factor in how much it's going to cost to check a bag if you're going to have to check a bag. Because sometimes we might look at the airline fare and it seems a little bit cheaper than another airline, but then once you factor in those bag fees, it can make a big difference. So those are some things to help. If any of you have any other ideas, certainly put them in the comments below because it helps all of us. All right, wanted to make you aware of that. And it's getting to the point, those baggage fees can really add up, especially going both directions, anywhere else you're going. Alrighty, and be aware that when you fly around, like travel between airports in Europe, it's a whole different ball game. Their carry-on sizes are different there. A lot of times they weigh your carry-on, and so you have to pay extra for that. I've had to pay extra because my carry-on weighs too much, or because my carry-on is a little bit bigger than they thought it should be. I've had to check my carry-on because it was bigger. So just be really flexible when you're flying in Europe and other places like that, other countries, because things are a little bit different. Alrighty, now let's talk about the new app update to the Princess app. So Princess Cruises is what their current app is called. That Medallion class app is going to go away at some point. We don't know when. They said early of 2024, and we're almost to the end of February here, so we're still early in 2024, I guess, and so we will just kind of keep an eye on when that app goes away. But in the meantime, I am really encouraged that we have had a good update to the app. I would love to hear from all of you, though. Is your loyalty starting to show up correctly? Mine shows up correctly, but I hear from so many people that their loyalty is not showing up correctly in the app. A good thing, though, is I am being told as people receive their medallions in the mail that it's having the correct loyalty on the medallion. So I don't really know what the disconnect is with that, but let me know. Did they solve that glitch as they were doing it? Because that would be really helpful. Another glitch I just have been dealing with on so many things is if you have a few Princess Cruises booked and you, for example, are new to cruising with Princess, and so you booked a cruise maybe when you were not to the Ruby level yet to be able to get the insurance, paying the standard rate to receive the Platinum insurance, that's not updating automatically, and sometimes it takes a few calls to get that fixed on bookings. Even though they'll say they did it, then you go back and log in and it's not done. So make sure that you keep an eye on that if you've got a cruise booked. Okay, wanted to let you know about that. Now, here are the things that really stand out to me. So if I have missed anything and it's important, or you think we all should know about it, make sure you put it down in the comments, alrighty? First of all, we were really happy to see the chat feature come back. You cannot use it until you are on the ship and connected to the Medallion Net on board. Now, keep in mind that the Princess Medallion Net is the intranet on the ship, so you don't have to pay to use the internet to be able to use the functionality of your app while you're on the ship. Okay, that's really important. Access to the internet, the Wi-Fi, all of that is different than what you're able to do just automatically because you're on a Princess ship. So just so if anyone is worried, I know I get people who are concerned, you don't have to pay for the internet in order to use everything on your app, alrighty? So that chat thing, that feature is there now. It's across the bottom there. You'll see it, and they have it so that you can do both like a crew chat if you need to ask questions, but also you can chat with people who are in your party, and you, like if you're somewhere on the ship and you want to ask the other person a question and you're not together, you can, it's kind of like texting, it's messaging that way. So I am really happy to see that that is available. Also, they have added the ability to see all of your cruises that you've got booked with Princess. I've got a couple of notes for you though, and it's going to be interesting. We're going to all have to come together and say what we are noticing with our cruises. So when you'll click on your profile, and then that will bring it up, and they scroll like back and forth across. Okay, if you do show all, then it will go in chronological order going down. I did notice that one of our cruises that has been deposited for way long enough now that it should be it didn't show up, so I was able to add it with a booking number. As you scroll across, you will notice that there is a place to add a cruise, and all you do is click on that, tuck in the booking number, and it did spin for a while, but finally that booking was added to our list of bookings. So that's one thing I noticed. So don't assume that all of your cruises are there. Go through if you've got very many and make sure that everything is showing up the way it should be. Another important thing to note is we have a back-to-back that were booked though as 2 separate cruises. It was not available to book as one cruise, so we booked it as 2, but they have been lumped together. And it's not until late in 2025. And so make sure, I'm really looking forward to seeing how that functionality ends up. I don't know if we get closer, if they will separate those 2 bookings out. It's on a new ship, and so I can't even book. I went in to try to book dining to see if it would show me, both cruises to do that, but that's not a function of that yet. And so I'll let you know, but be aware that if you've got a back-to-back, it might lump those together, and it just shows the booking number for the first cruise. So let me know if you have got one booked and it's coming up soon enough that you can reserve your dining or anything. Let me know how that shows up. When I tried to look at the excursions for that, some excursions came up, but only for the first cruise. The excursions and the spa are still taking you to the Princess website. That functionality is not within the app itself, and so it only showed me the excursions though for that first week. So I'm hoping that that gets ironed out a little bit more. I don't know why they're lumped together when there's 2 different booking numbers, but we'll see when it gets closer. And I guess, what, I didn't think to try adding the second booking number, but under the first booking number, it lists the dates for the entire time that we're on the ship with both cruises. So anyway, just wanted to give you the heads up about that. It's not a big deal. I'm not even worried about it, but it's my job to tell you what I see, and you let me know what you see as well. Really quickly here, also, under when you're trying to become Green Lane to get on the ship, you no longer have to add a credit card for the shoreside purchases. I think that was a really wise move that was taken off, because so many people didn't want to do that. And the really nice thing is, if you are someone who wants to buy anything shoreside, you can still do that. It's just not that it's nice they're not requiring that for everyone. And you know what? If you get on, if you're on the ship and you decide you want to do some shopping, and it's going to be in those shoreside shops there when you are in port or something, you can always add a credit card to it. I think it's not the end of the world at all. And historically, before they had that available, I actually know somebody that bought something in a shoreside shop, and it just charged them to the credit card that was already on their app, because it's linked to the medallion. It was no big deal. So there's that. Another thing, I have noticed that when you click on, when you log into the app and you can click on that check-in section, it looks like it's a little bit more streamlined, which I think is nice. You can click on it to do the things in the checklist, and then it has the nice button closer to that. You don't have to scroll down as far to order your medallion. And then underneath the order medallion, it had this new little section there, and it showed Gordon's name and my name, and that the travel checklist is green, and it was a orange box with a check in it, because we haven't ordered our medallions yet. And heads up, if you don't order your medallions, it's okay. They'll have them at the port for you. If you don't have a package and you have them shipped to your home, it's $10. So I just picked mine up at the port. It's not that I don't have $10. It's just, to me, it's the principle. Having a medallion is part of the experience to go on a cruise ship with Princess. That was their idea. And the fact that you make me pay to have it sent to my home, I don't get. I know they're trying to cover their shipping costs with that, but it's not a big deal to me to pick it up at there at the port. So that's what I'm going to do. So anyway, it's nice. It lists out what is missing and what you need to do for each person. And then still at the bottom of that is where you click to add a celebration if you want to add something to a cruise that you're going on. So I like to see that is streamlined. When you look under the My Journey there, you can see your journey is going to have your reservations, and then it's got ship schedule. I don't know with the update if they're including more before you get on the ship, but I've noticed that a lot more is showing up than I seem to recall was showing up for our cruise in April on the Discovery Princess. So that's kind of fun, but they do have both of those sections for you. The app does run a little bit slower, which is really no surprise because it has a lot more functionality to it. They've added those extra capabilities in. I think that it probably must clearly takes up more space and more, it makes the program bulkier to be able to show everyone's cruises and everything that goes with that. But I'm really happy with that update. It will make it work easier for people who are going to go on a cruise soon, as well as even if your cruise isn't for a while, to be able to access everything. So the next thing I wanted to tell you about is we got a question from someone in the comments, and we haven't talked about this for a while, so I think it's really a fun thing to talk about, and I want to hear from all of you in the comments what I have forgotten. So Gordon and I just brainstormed for a minute, and and then after that I'm going to tell you how to add someone to your dining reservation. Okay, I forgot to tell you that. So anyway, let's see. So we brainstormed with some of the activities that they have on board Princess. And truly, when I've been on Norwegian and Carnival and Royal Caribbean, I have seen a lot of these activities on those ships as well. And so when you think of going on a cruise, kind of know that if you really enjoy one cruise line, it's likely that you'll enjoy another cruise line. To me, the variety and the activities available is not really... that doesn't determine what cruise line I choose. I would say that I choose a cruise line based on the overall vibe. I would base it based on the destination that we want to go to. Whoever goes there seems to do the best job going there. That's what I often think of for how much I want to pay, I should add. But here are some things that we thought of. Trivia. They have game shows. They've got your meet and greets for all kinds of groups. They've got that Dr. Bob and Bill W, I think is what it's called. That's Alcoholics Anonymous. So if that'll help be a good support to you when you're on the ship, they've got that. They've got like your knitters and natters. They've got solo and singles travelers get-togethers, lots of kinds of get-togethers. They've always got production shows going. I've noticed that they'll have like martini demonstrations, fancy ways to do that, as well as different bar demonstrations. I noticed someone... I read a lot of things. Somebody was asking for a suggestion on a cocktail, and somebody was replied and said, oh, go to one of the bar demonstrations and you can try things that are new. So there's that. They've got future cruise planning. It kind of depends on the ship. Sometimes they will actually have a time in the theater where they will talk to you about a bunch of the different sailings that are coming up, trying to entice people to book those. But not always. They always have the future cruise desk and information there though, so that's always available. They usually will have some dance classes, some Zumba, movies under the stars, pickleball. This is really fun. We noticed that on the, I think it's on the Manzanillo Day, on our Eclipse cruise on the Discovery Princess, they're going to have a back to the 80s deck party at night, so we're going to go to that. They will often have different crafts, just lots of different things going on in the daytime and in the evening as well. So I think if you want to do something, there is always something going on. Okay, so put what I've missed in the comments. Okay, really quickly, I get a lot of questions about how to add other people to your dining reservation. And this works whether you're choosing to do it in the main dining room or if you're doing it for specialty dining. So click on that little button that you'll see on the app there that says book dining. And then it'll bring up, you click on that, and then across the top, there's dates and times. Depends on how you want to sort it. If you want to sort that way, you can do it. Click on the date that you want to eat and the time that you prefer, and it'll show you what your options are. I really kind of like to do it. I look at the list of the specialty dining or the main dining rooms, click on one of those, and then you can scroll down. When you're on board the ship, you can click there's a menu button if you want to see what the menu looks like for that evening, but that doesn't show up till you're on board. But anyway, you can scroll down, and as you get there to make the time, you can pick the day you want to do it and then the time you want to do it. You will also see the photos of the people if you have photos in your app. If you don't, it won't have them, but the people will automatically be added to that unless you deselect someone who was on your booking. If you want to add more people, say you want to invite 2 people for dinner, so there'll be 4 of you or 6, however many you want. There's that little blue circle with a pen looking thing in it. Click on that, and then you add people with the booking number. Okay, so you have to ask people that you're going to travel with for their booking number if you don't already have that, okay? And then you can select whoever you want off of that booking to join you for dinner. And here's a tip. If you want to eat somewhere and say you want to eat in one of the main dining rooms and you want to add 8 people, and so you add, the booking numbers, so now you're going to have like 8 people. There are tables for 8 people in the main dining room. That's not a problem. But if you go to reserve that time and it comes up as unavailable, you might want to break it up and have somebody else in the party do a group of 4 and then do a group of 4. And usually I have noticed that when you get to the main dining room, if you ask them, they are able to accommodate you. If you've made that reservation for the same time, often they're able to accommodate you with a table for 8. If they don't, they can put you at a table for 4 close together, or how they have the seating, one side of it is kind of like a bench with a back on it, like the sofa kind of, and then there's a table and then a chair on the other side. They can also seat people, just like 8 of you, 4 on each side, so that you can visit while you eat as well. They are really kind to accommodate you the best they can, so kind of keep that as a way of booking dining if it comes up that there's not that many spots available for the time that you want to dine in the place that you want to dine, okay? And I always add that this is really funny, but Gordon and I will always, if we book one main dining room the night before, the first night, we will go there, and if we just love the crew members who are waiting on us and they make it fun and we enjoy the service, then we just want to, every evening we'll come back and want to sit in their section, and they're very accommodating. It's a good thing to ask to sit in one of the waiters, one of the wait staff's area, because it shows management that they're doing a good job, that you want to sit there. So you can either ask for the same time, and sometimes we don't want to eat dinner at the same time. It depends on when sail away is. It depends on other things, how late we are in port. And so you can still come without a reservation and ask to sit in their area, and usually they can accommodate you unless they happen to just be so busy and so full that there is nothing available in that section. So just thought I would tell you that in case it helps you as you're planning your dining, or what to know to do when you're on board. If you've got any questions about that, just tuck it in the comments. I really look forward to reading your comments. You all are amazing and have great ideas, and I appreciate your support. I'll see you all here again tomorrow, and I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.